we have an announcement that we're going to make, and we're going to get started with that soon. But I do want you to start thinking about your entire year and what it's been like. And specifically, I'm looking at, growth and things that have helped you overcome what is probably the most challenging, year that we've had. Just require a lot of flexibility and adapting. Plans got canceled, seeing family, being locked down, all these kind of things that happen really challenge us to the core, which is hard, but it's also life. And it's kind of cool that you've gone through this experience, and hopefully you'll be ready to bring all that knowledge into your future years, either like outside of Bates or for next year. So I do want you to start thinking about what are the things that have helped you survive this year, that, from we at Bates, from econ major classes, like let's look back a little bit through this year. And if there's anything that you did particularly well that you want to share with people, that would be really nice and helpful. If there are some challenges that you still feel like you need help with, we want to hear that too, and know that we are here to support you on that.
So hi everyone, it's really nice to see you. I can't wait to see you all in person next fall. And seniors, congratulations. The trauma of the last year and a half has been intense on a lot of fronts. So congratulations on getting to this point. And enough of that stuff, because I want to start with some really exciting news, which is why we asked you to show up. This club now has been really important to us. And Professor Young and I founded We at Bates a couple of years ago with the hope that it would eventually become a student-run group. But that doesn't happen without leadership and without the right leadership. And this year, under the direction of Maddie and Georgina, the club has gone from a faculty-led initiative to a student community-driven organization, and finally to a full recognized Bates club. So congratulations on that. And while all of you have played important roles in making sure the club thrives and each member is valued, Maddie and Georgina have led the way this year and showed great initiative and leadership together. Both of you, Maddie and Georgina, have been instrumental in helping build community for females identifying students, for leading the club during this exceptionally challenging year and a half, for communicating with faculty leadership and building relationships with us. It's a true joy for professors to really get to know their students. And we're so grateful to Maddie and Georgina for being open to being the first student leaders of We, and for leading with grace and enthusiasm and good humor. They've set the bar high for future We leaders. So those of you elected for next year, but really they've set us on a good path for the future. And so without further ado, we would like to announce the inaugural We Leadership Award. And our donor, Joan Blanchard, has endorsed our idea for an inaugural leadership award. And the award acknowledges the hard work and dedication it takes to lead by positive direction, honesty, humility, and it acknowledges the ability to lead with respect, empathy, and care. All things that both Maddie and Georgina exhibited this year. It's a cash award, and the 2021 We Leadership Award goes to Maddie Serwa and Georgina Skolga.
Thank you so much.
Yay. That's so awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You've earned it, and we're very excited to present it. So would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, this club has meant a lot to me. I remember when I came in, I didn't know many female econ majors. I didn't really know if I wanted to do it at all. And I remember meeting Adina, and she was on the soccer team, and she said, hey, there's this club, you should check it out if you're thinking about econ. And it's meant the world to me to meet you guys and to get to know everyone and have this support system that otherwise I really don't think I would have found. And I might not have stuck with the major. And yeah, I like I'm finishing my thesis, and I'm really excited, and I'm just really proud of the past 4 years. And I'm really excited to see what all of you do, and hopefully see you again.
Yeah, I mean, I echo all of that. I was writing actually, Professor Subramanian, I don't know if you ever read it, but I wrote like a thank you card to Joan Blanchard, our like donator person, last week. And when I was writing it, I was reflecting on about how like I almost dropped econ when I took the first class my freshman year, and then it's because of you, Lynn, that I kept going, because you like pulled me aside and told me that I was good at it and should keep going. And I think like the women in this major are literally the only reason I declared the major, and the reason why I love it so much. And like I got through all of the foundational classes by like working in classrooms with a lot of people who are in this Zoom right now. And I know that like talking to friends in this club, a lot of people only declare the major because of this club. And so it's just such a powerful thing, and it's really happy and proud. And thank you, Maddie, for your leadership as a senior this year.
Well, that is super good to hear. Congratulations, you really deserve it. And hopefully, you know, this will inspire everybody else to, you know, lead by example. And I know it's not easy sometimes to see yourself as a leader, but I think that we need to step more into that role, and do it, you know, true to who you are as well. I mean, we know that role models look quite different, and sometimes we have preconceptions on what a leader should be, like always right, very determined, like, you know, that's not like what leadership is. So it's really good to see how you can still be true to yourself and, you know, not have all the answers, but do step into that role and be able to be successful. So we do appreciate you taking this step and showing us what it's like to lead by example. So we would love to hear from all of you a little bit of a self-reflection, and that can be anything. We want to give you space to just, you know, talk about things that have helped you this year, things that you're still working on, hope for the future, plans, anything that you want to just mention. And also if you have suggestions or things that you particularly enjoy from the club or things that you'd like to do in the future, we'd love to hear from that. And this is very casual. I mean, it's just us. So feel free to like unmute your microphone and jump in, and we're going to interrupt each other. It's going to be awkward like in Zoom always. So, you know, we'll go through it.
How about we just go around my screen? So Monica, that brings you up first if you have any remarks before graduation.
So I think Maddie and I are the only seniors on this Zoom right now, and we actually had the same economics thesis advisor, Professor LeShui. And I guess I want to say, you know, for those of you that are going to do thesis next year, it's definitely something, you know, really challenging. You're kind of testing all that you've learned throughout the years here at Bates, but you're going to get through it. You're going to be so proud of yourself at the end. And I'm basically just speaking to future you, but it feels great. It feels great to be a senior. It feels great to finish my thesis, to have the support that I've had in the major. I just feel truly, truly blessed. And I know all of you are going to make it, you know, here, you know, finishing your thesis, and you're going to feel grateful. And I'm just really excited for all of you. I wish I could, you know all of you much more, but I'm sure we has like my contact information, and I can try somehow to like help, because I do want to pay it forward. I want to connect with all of you and help in any way that I can. And I'm just really appreciative. And Professor Julietta, I really want to thank you as well, just because you've been a huge inspiration for me, especially since my sophomore year. And I'm just grateful.
Thank you. Tamsin?
Hi everyone, I'm Tamsin. I think that this year I've become more of a feminist, like fully embraced feminism for sure. I feel like I've been in a lot of male dominated spaces, especially in the econ major, but also I've kind of this year, because of COVID has kind of made us explore like new things, and like instead of just like going off campus on the weekends, and just like it's made us think differently about what we want to do. I was going to be abroad in the fall and that didn't happen, but I like made the most of it and I took up surfing, which is a very male dominated sport. And it's always me, a tiny little girl, whatever, and then like 6 foot tall men or whatever in the water. And I just feel like that's another example yet again of just like breaking barriers and getting into this like space of or just feeling good in a space and feeling like appreciated in a space also. This fall, no, not this fall, this winter, I took intermediate microeconomics or macroeconomics. And I think Simona was also in my class, and I think she left, but we were the only two girls in a 42-person class or something. And that was a really, really eye-opening experience to me, but we like made it through. We spoke in class, you know, we held our ground. So that was really cool. And then my final note, I guess, is I took Women in Economic Development with Professor Sumarian, and that was one of my favorite classes I've ever taken at Bates. And it was the first econ class where it was half women, half men also. And I feel like we finally got our voices heard in that class, and we're finally just like really engaging in more equal grounds. And so yeah, I'd say I've just become a feminist, and I hope that my life is going to revolve around that work. So yeah.
Wow, thank you. Caitlin, you want to share anything?
Sure. So I didn't declare my econ major. I'm a junior, and actually I should have changed my name. I go by Katie, but it always does.
Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I didn't declare until the fall of this year, I think it was. And my first econ class was intermediate macro with Professor Young this fall. And now, due in large part to the modular system, I only have one more 300 level to go. So it's been a crazy year, but very exciting. And I guess I was pretty intimidated at the start because I hadn't really met that many econ majors, specifically any female econ majors at the start of this fall, because I'd just been involved in other departments. But it was great to be able to meet people through the club. And I think I've actually had a class with almost everyone here, with a couple exceptions. But yeah, a funny anecdote from the Women in Econ Development course was one of the guys in the class raised his hand and said, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of like, wow, we're actually like outnumbered by the girls for once. And then we counted and it turns out that there was one more guy than girls. It was like 9 to 10. So he wasn't actually outnumbered, but just because the perspective was so shifted, because I guess the guys are also really used to having such a small proportion of girls in the classes. But yeah, it's been a really exciting year, and I'm looking forward to doing thesis and just that whole adventure.
Thank you. Anna?
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna. I'm a junior. I'm also an econ major. And this year has been, I don't know if I've done any, I don't know if my reflecting has really brought up any prominent points yet. I think I'll just say, because this year was so much more challenging in workload and being alone, and so it was both isolating and rigorous. It's really, really promising knowing that in the future I've been able to, and we've all been able to still learn and take these classes and do it and really understand the material in a new environment. I was also planning on going abroad, as Tamsin and many of us juniors were. And still, this felt like a vastly different experience here at Bates because of restrictions and everything. But it was interesting. We got a new challenging perspective. I am actually planning on going abroad this upcoming fall. I don't even know if I've updated you with that, Professor Young. We'll meet later. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to balance everything out in that new way. I will be writing my art history thesis abroad there, and I've received permission to do that too. So I'll indulge you with the details later, Professor Young. But anyways, it's exciting knowing that we can all like learn and we can learn and be productive in new environments, and that is really exciting and promising, especially just considering how I don't know, unexpected our futures may be, how unexpected the workforce may be. People aren't, it seems like people aren't really going on specific paths as much. And so knowing that there are a lot of different ways to do things is really exciting. And knowing that we've already done it. Like we did it this past year. We're all in this meeting, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Mia?
Hi, everyone. I guess one thing I've been thinking about is like how this year has been so isolating in so many ways, but I actually feel like my econ classes kind of enabled it to be less isolating, especially at the beginning of the pandemic. Once we got sent home, I was like always on Zoom with people in my econ classes working on problem sets, etc. And I'm just so grateful that this major is so collaborative. I think it like really was a game changer in this entire year. And I've been doing this whole semester remotely. And I think because of my econ classes, I've felt more involved in the community just because it's so collaborative and so like community driven in this group, and then also just within the major on a whole. So I'm just really grateful for that. And yeah, I've only have thesis left, and I'm kind of sad.
Thank you. Annie?
Yeah, I think like it's kind of echoing a lot of what other people have been saying, but I don't know, like it's been definitely a very interesting year, and it's been like hard to get as like involved in a lot of things as I've wanted to, including this club, but just like looking at like the people on the Zoom call, like there's been like a lot of people just like in this like on the call that I've really been able to look up to, and it's nice to see like women in such like a male dominated space who are doing so well, and kind of it's very inspiring as I'm trying to like navigate these, like it's kind of hard to be in some of the spaces sometimes, but knowing that like there's people doing it and doing like a very good job of it is very inspiring, and I'm hoping to be more involved in like the club and everything next year.
Thank you. Isabel?
Hi, I actually ended up taking this semester off, but just knowing that this group is on campus for next fall just gives me a real sense of peace, especially after how rough this year has been for everybody. And I'm especially grateful to Professor Young and Professor Subramanian. I got the opportunity to, first of all, do research with Professor Young and also take Professor Subramanian's statistics class, which is a great experience. So I'm just really looking forward to getting back on campus with everybody.
Ditto to that. Maddie and Georgina, I skipped over you because you had the opportunity to say something after your award, but I don't want you to miss out here. So please jump in if you have anything else you want to add.
I wanted to say a couple things. First of all, I wanted to echo Tamsin's woman in economic dev thing. It was life-changing, like just walking into a room and so many women and just seeing how powerful it is when like oftentimes I feel almost like a pressure to speak up in class because there, you know, just there aren't really women there to like speak up and show what they can do and share their thoughts. And being in a class that was honestly like led by the women in our class, it was just really awesome and an eye-opening experience. And I just love the culture so much of like Katie's here, and Tamsin and I have met before, but we just like became friends with Katie and started doing our labs together, and just the power of how often that happens in econ in general, but especially I'm so used to like all the women in classes banding together and lifting each other up. I also wanted to share that last night we had my wee family, not all of them like got super close, but we had dinner last night at our mother's house, Imani, and she made us a home cooked meal. Annie's in my family, so she's like nodding along. And we just like went to her off-campus house and she made us like chicken and muffins, and it was just so lovely and wholesome. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have a lot more to add. Yeah, it was a great year. It's, I think, like in terms of if I have any advice to leave, it's just when you're going through these classes and thesis and everything you do, lean on your support systems, whoever that is, if it's a professor, if it's your family, if it's your friends. That's really important. Especially, I think that's something that just really resonated with me this year, and something that I had to work on was that like this was an isolating time, so you had to work extra hard to not isolate yourself. And I think, you know, I couldn't have gotten through it without my family and my professors and my friends and this club. So that's just something I would say is like be mindful of like keeping, even if you feel like you have a lot going on, like you have time to, you know, be with those people and spend time, because that's really important.
This has been amazing. I just want to add that for me, you guys are really important. This group is really important. And as a faculty member in a male-dominated discipline, it's been really empowering to see you all grow and come together and help us out in thinking about how do we do this? You know, how do I teach a class that's almost all guys and occasionally all guys, you know, like what is that? So this has been a really great experience. So as we move forward, I hope to continue our interactions in person.
I also want to add that, you know, as you're growing and as it's becoming easier to know who you are and what you want to do and feel more comfortable with yourself, like do remember what it was like back in the day when you felt like, you know, do you belong here, like insecure about these things. There are many people that feel that way, and you know, it's just the way it is. Like we're doing something new, uncertain. You might feel like that again in like other parts of your life, but just remember that there are people now watching you and thinking, well, of course, like they can do it. They're super smart. Like, you know, like Monica Luna with her thesis and Maddie, like, of course they did it. Like, I'm not like that. Can I do it? And just, if you share your stories, if you open yourself up to express that it was never like that, like always like this, like you felt like amazing all the time, that you went through rough things and that you relied on community and you asked for help and you had like bad moments and good moments. I think that's super powerful. And it's one of the things that really helped me with Lynn, just know that, oh, what I'm feeling is not crazy, like it's normal, and she, you know, can help me through it. That was really powerful for me, and I want you to keep thinking about it and sort of like, you know, spread and support other people as they go through their journey.
Yeah, I'd like to add too, just echo everything that's been said. And I think it really is a really wonderful space from the faculty perspective too. And I know, I mean, I love teaching a class that's about 50-50 women and men, but not all the classes are like that. And I think that, and I'd like to see how much you all build community and really support each other. And it's really, it becomes evident from the faculty side too. And it's really encouraging for us to. And I really like how many of you said something about paying it forward, what you've gained from this, and, you know, and really being peer mentors going forward. And it's easy to feel, even especially when you're, you know, sort of at the beginning of your journey as a sophomore or freshman or something, of what do I have to pay forward? But you really have learned a lot in your time in the major. And as you look back and you think about what do I wish I had known, you know, at that time when I started and saw a sea of just all men, you know, in my classes. And so that you did learn something from the gendered perspective, but also about economics, that you have a lot to share and you know, and really contribute to this community and paying it forward. And so I'm really excited to see this this next chapter of how the club continues to evolve and you all continue to support each other. And I'd also like to add a special extra, just hearty congratulations to the seniors who are graduating. This is the one of the weirdest ways to graduate, but you guys have done such a fantastic job. I saw Monica and Maddie's presentation videos and briefly in your rooms too in the thesis celebration. And it was just so fantastic to see the work that you've done and, you know, the culmination of all of what you've learned in the major and really, really fantastic work. And so just huge, huge congratulations and can't wait to see where you're off to next.
Thank you so much.
And don't forget, you'll be invited back to a WE event as an alum. So
yes, we look forward to that. Thank you.
Okay, so I think this is it for now. We wanted to give the leadership awards to Maddie and Georgina. Thank you guys again for all your work. Please stay in touch throughout the summer. Let us know always how we can help. We're so proud of you and know that whatever you're going through this summer, next year, new job, new classes, you have us forever to help and support you. So keep growing the community, building relationships. That's always something that will help you move forward. And thank you for being part of this club and just filling us with so much excitement and ambition and growth.
Thank you.